There's a threat that's growing all around us, in our hospitals, on our farms, right in our own communities. And it's silent. It doesn't get the flashy headlines like a big viral outbreak, but it is, without a doubt, one of the most urgent global health challenges we face right now. So today, we are going to talk about the crisis of antibiotic resistance. For decades, antibiotics have been, well, they've been miracles, right? They completely changed medicine, turning infections that were once a death sentence into something you could just fix. I mean, think about it for a second. Safe surgery, effective cancer treatments, organ transplants. Literally none of that is possible without antibiotics to fight off infection. They are the very foundation of modern medicine. But that foundation, it's starting to crumble. The very drugs we count on, these miracle cures we've all kind of taken for granted, they're losing their punch. The bacteria they were built to destroy are learning how to fight back. And honestly, they're starting to win. And that is the reality of antibiotic resistance. This isn't some problem for the future. It's happening right now. It's a clear and present danger that could unravel everything we've built in medicine over the last century. So what's actually happening here? At its core, it's pretty simple. It's evolution, playing out in real time. Every time we use an antibiotic, it wipes out most of the bacteria. But a few of the really tough ones might survive. And those survivors, they multiply. And they create a whole new generation of bacteria that our drugs just can't touch anymore. And that leads to infections that are way harder and sometimes even impossible to treat. Now, we need to be really clear about something. This isn't just bad luck. This isn't some natural disaster we couldn't see coming. We are the architects of this crisis. Our habits, our systems, they've put this whole evolutionary process into overdrive. It's really a perfect storm, and we created it. It starts with just flat-out overuse in medicine, right? Giving antibiotics for a cold or the flu where they do absolutely nothing. Then there's the massive use in agriculture, where we've been using them to help livestock grow faster, which basically creates these huge breeding grounds for resistant bacteria. Add in poor hygiene in some hospitals, which lets these superbugs spread easily, and then globalization. Well, that just means these new tough bacteria can hop on a plane and be on the other side of the world in a day. And to top it all off, research into new antibiotics has pretty much stalled, leaving us with fewer and fewer weapons to fight back with. So, okay, this isn't just some abstract science problem. The consequences are incredibly real, they're happening right now, and the human cost is, well, it's staggering. Just look at this number. In 2019 alone, a single year, almost 5 million deaths around the world were connected to bacterial resistance. Almost 5 million. But, and this is the scary part, if we don't do something, the projections are even worse. By the year 2050, that number could hit 10 million deaths every single year. Just let that sink in for a second. More people dying from this than from cancer. We're talking about a future where a common infection could be just as feared as a malignant tumor. That's the scale of what we're up against. This really paints the picture of the two paths in front of us. On one side, you have the world we know, with all the marvels of modern medicine. But on the other side, that's a world we've forgotten. A world where a scraped knee could kill you, where a hip replacement is just too dangerous to even try, where chemotherapy isn't an option because the risk of a simple infection is just too high. And the fallout isn't just medical. Think about the economy. The cost of people being in the hospital longer, needing more expensive treatments, and being out of work. It could trigger a massive global economic crisis. It would hit the poorest countries the hardest and could undo years of progress in fighting poverty.
And look, this isn't some hypothetical. It's already happening. We see it with the hospital superbug MRSA. We see it with multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis, which is becoming a nightmare to treat. And we see how global hotspots like India can become launching pads for resistant bugs that spread all over the planet.
Okay, but this explainer isn't meant to be all doom and gloom. It's a wake-up call. Because here's the most important part. This is a solvable problem. Since it's a crisis we created, it means we also have the power to fix it. So here's the game plan. It has to be an all-out coordinated attack. We need smarter regulations to stop the misuse on farms and in clinics. We need hospitals to become guardians of the antibiotics we have left, using them wisely. We absolutely have to kickstart research and development for new drugs, because that pipeline is broken. And it takes all of us. We need public awareness so everyone understands their role. This has to be a global effort with everyone working together, strengthening surveillance through things like the WHO's global system, which is called GLASS. See, you see, we're really at a fork in the road. The choices we make right now in the next few years are going to define the future of medicine for generations. Ultimately, what this all comes down to is shared responsibility. This isn't just on the scientists to find a new drug or on doctors to prescribe better. It's on governments to lead, on farmers to change how they do things, and yeah, it's on every single one of us to treat these precious medicines with the respect they deserve. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about, because if we don't start acting together and acting now, we might not get a choice in the answer.